Everybody. Today is a legal wire presentation, if you will, on a topic that just hit the news just a few days ago regarding Garcia. Yes, the Chandler dental assistant was sentenced, and his full name is Deion Alexander Garcia. And with that said, I wanted to share with you what I pulled together since the 17th. I'm going to go full screen on this so that you can see it better. And what you'll see here is an article, a news alert that came out on July 17th that since I do my monthly streams on Maricopa County Attorney's Office, I received this alert and I read through it and I wanted to share this with you because it'll be part of my end of month or beginning of next month stream in just a few days, maybe 10 days or so. And this is too important to wait. So we have the article from Maricopa County Attorney's Office, Rachel Mitchell, on dental assistant sentenced to decades in prison for child SA. I'm going to try to be careful with my verbiage, but I wanted to make sure that I cover this verbatim. My source is the news alert. I put that down there. This is the case for Deion Alexander Garcia in the Maricopa County Superior Court, CR 2024-122646. And the reason I say all that is because you can tell by the CR number, it started in 2024, even though the issue started even earlier. So let me read through this with you in sections. So Maricopa County Attorney Rachel Mitchell announced today the sentencing of Deion Garcia to 40 years in prison and lifetime supervised probation for the SA of several children under his care when he worked as a dental assistant in Chandler. Now that would equal 14,610 days, okay? 14,610 days equates to 40 years behind bars, which in my opinion is a light sentence. Whenever it comes to children, I don't think there should be any acceptable limit. Continue on with the verbiage from the news alert. In May 2024, Chandler Police responded to a report of SA that occurred at a children's dental office near Arizona Avenue and Chandler Heights Road. According to the parents of the 6-year-old victim, the defendant, Deion Garcia, had inappropriately touched the victim and taken inappropriate photos of her during an x-ray exam. This is in the dental office. As police continue to investigate, they connected this case with another incident that occurred in September 2022. That's 4 years ago, involving another 6-year-old who had also been SA'd during an x-ray exam. During the search of the defendant's phone, get this, police also found multiple inappropriate images of a 4-year-old victim who was under anesthesia when the abuse happened. A 4-year-old. It's mind-boggling that this has never been addressed. Now, I don't want you to think that this is just about him, because in May of this year, on May 6th, another news alert came out that I reported at my monthly review. This is regarding Chandler dentist indicted for failing to report child abuse. So the dentist himself, okay? Now in the Maricopa County Superior Court case number for Dr. Walter D. Villanueva, which I had to dig deep to find it, it's CR 2026-006684. As you notice, that one came to light in 2026, 2 years after Garcia was indicted. In this article, Rachel Mitchell has announced that Walter Villanueva has been indicted for failing to report the abuse of a child patient at his dental practice in Chandler. He was indicted on one count of failure to report non-accidental injuries and physical neglect of minors, a Class 6 felony. There are reporting laws in Arizona's mandatory reporting laws, so you can see the MCAO's mandatory reporting webpage. All doctors are expected to do this. So I don't want you to think that Garcia was the only one, but the doctor is being held accountable also, although years later. Now, in this portion, the accountability in this case doesn't stop with Garcia's 40-year prison sentence. Authorities have also turned their attention to the leadership at Pediatric Dental and Orthodontic in South Chandler. That's in Arizona. The owner and dentist, Dr. Walter Villanueva, is now facing a felony charge of his own. Court records show that as far back as September 2022, a parent confronted the doctor after a young patient spoke up about what happened during an appointment. Instead of immediately alerting the authorities or child protection services, as the law strictly requires, that warning was allegedly ignored, and now the practice owner is facing criminal charges for failing to step up and report it, which, as you know, don't repost, report. We said that many times in my monthly streams. And here's an update for you. Dr. Villanueva has been indicted on one count of failure to report non-accidental injuries and physical neglect of minors, a Class 6 felony. This news alert was released on May 6th, and his trial is reset to January 4th, 2027. Why it was reset, I don't know. Why it hasn't already taken place, I don't know. But my comment there is WTAF. It's your practice. Who you hire and how they perform their duties are on you. Keep that in mind, every doctor or dentist or anyone in charge. This one I'm going full screen on because this was due to a plea deal. Sorry, it's covered by the thing and I don't want to take it off. Anyway, this is what Garcia pled to. Attempted mole of a child, which is he pled to a reduced charge. SC with a minor, pled guilty as charged. Attempted SE of a minor, pled to a reduced charge. And once again, attempted SE of a minor, pled to a reduced charge. Now, the dismissed charges, dismissed due to grand jury indictment on May 20th, 2024. M, mole of a child, which occurred on September 9th, 2022. SC with a minor, which occurred on September 9th, 2022. And dismissed due to plea on other account dated April 20th, 2026. SE of a minor, 5 separate counts. The crime dates are between May 8th, 2024 and May 9th, 2024. These are all from public criminal court case information. You can see the case history on the webpage on the website. Here, I just want to make sure you're alerted for those folks who deal with children and have in charge of their care. You have multiple access. This is regarding the missing persons resources and emergency reporting, but keep in mind that these numbers and websites are available regarding anything as far as children go. For example, NCMEC, it's regarding missing and exploited children. So you can see how that phone number would be worth calling, 1-800-THE-LOST, as well as any missing children, federal cases, immediate danger, 911. Everybody in the United States should be fully aware that if you see something, you definitely should report it, as far as making sure that the information of an crime is reported immediately. And 911 is a standard phone call that anyone can use. It is to your local law enforcement, but information will be shared throughout multiple law enforcement agencies, obviously. Now, one thing I wanted to bring out also is that this is a slide I prepared that I think is very important for all people in charge or the care of children. Could find this very useful. If not, print screen it from my stream if you join the replay crew or now, and just know that these are top ways, I should say, to protect children in medical and dental offices. Now, at the bottom, it'll be small print, but it talks about to get the audience, right? Caregivers and family members, grandparents, aunts, uncles, older siblings, or trusted family friends who regularly accompany children to appointments or handle emergency pickups. That could be school related. School nurses, school nurse and educators, professionals who conduct routine health screening or notice sudden behavioral changes, anxiety, or physical complaints following medical and dental visits. Also, we have child advocates and guardian ad litems. We've heard about them many times. I've watched plenty of YouTube videos on cases where the judge and the guardian ad litem are on screen with the parents or legal guardians and the other. Court appointed or community based advocates tasked with safeguarding the legal and personal welfare of minors. And finally, pediatric and general insurers, organizations that can earn audit billing practices, facility compliance, and patient safety standards to incentivize secure clinical environments. Very important, right? Put the pressure on so they run their business appropriately, especially when you're dealing with children. Now, the top 10 ways to protect children. Insist on accompanying your child. That goes without saying. Action, what you can do. Never feel pressured to stay in the waiting room while your child is taken back for routine or specialized care, examinations, or x-rays. As we've seen in this case, Deion Garcia took advantage of children while performing x-rays. You have a legal and moral right to accompany your minor child through every step of the visit. Take ownership, stand up. You can do this. It's your child and under your safety protection. So you need to step up with that. If you don't already do it, this is good information for all people involved with protecting children. Establish the open door policy. If an office requires parents to remain outside for a specific procedure, explicitly ask for an exception or choose a practice that allows open door observation. Treatment rooms should allow visibility or accessible entry. I don't think that's asking too much. I think that that's a valid statement, and it shouldn't be not allowed, or the office staff should give you the evil eye. I think anybody who's responsible for children should do everything possible to protect them. Next, know the blind spots and ask about cameras. A lot of offices do have cameras available that they use, right? So that they can monitor their own staff, let alone everybody in the office. So what this is in light of findings that certain isolated areas like unmonitored x-ray rooms and can lack oversight, ask practice managers if treatment and imaging rooms have security cameras or active monitoring systems in place. It's a simple question. The office manager should be able to answer that question in moments. And you should be fully aware of any blind spots. That term alone tells you that something could go awry when no one's watching, right? The possibility exists. How many body cams have we seen? And how many office buildings that have been broken into because there's a blind spot, right? And you can't find the perpetrator. Next on the list, prepare your child with body safety rules. So this is you and your child, privacy of your own home. Teach your children proper anatomical terms and reinforce the body anatomy. Rule: no one has the right to touch your private area except for health reasons with a parent present, and you can always say no. Empower them to tell you immediately if anything feels uncomfortable or confusing. The children may not realize, or they feel something's up, but they don't want to speak up. So open that dialogue with your children prior to visits. Make mention of it on the way to a visit. It's okay to let your children know it's okay to talk to you. You're the parent and you love them. Reiterate that you love them and you're looking out for their safety. It's okay to speak to you about anything that makes them uncomfortable, no matter what it is. It may not all be actionable, but at least if they speak and the parent hears it, they can explain it or they can address it. So keep that in mind. Next is observe staff and patient interactions closely. By attention Pay attention to how staff members speak to and interact with your child. Watch for red flags, such as an adult showing excessive, unnecessary personal interest in a child, attempting to lock or block doors, or discouraging communication between the child and parent. That's a quickie. You can see that in a heartbeat. If that's happening, jump on it. Don't let it happen. Call your child's name, wave to them, say, I'm here. Can you hear me? Do whatever you have to do to keep those lines of communications open. And if someone is blocking you, step forward and express yourself. Monitor procedures involving sedation or anesthesia. We just heard about Deion Garcia's situation under anesthesia, a 4-year-old, right? A 4-year-old was taken advantage of. So, if your child requires sedation or general anesthesia, ensure that 2 trusted adults or a parent and another verified medical professional are present in the room throughout the procedure and during the immediate recovery phase when the child is vulnerable and unable to advocate for themselves. Need I say more? You have to be their voice if they can't speak for themselves. Any person that falls in the categories I defined and more, caregivers, family members, school nurses, educators, child advocates, guardian liam, pediatric and general insurers, all these folks have the same responsibility. Parents for sure, 100%. Legal guardians, 100%. The rest of them, 100%. So please take this to heart, what I'm sharing with you. Prohibit unaccompanied digital device use. Be alert to staff members bringing personal cell phones, tablets, or unapproved recording devices into examination spaces. Staff should not be taking photos or handling personal devices around unmasked or vulnerable children. There is no reason to bring a cell phone into there. Nothing is important. It is not attached to you like an arm or a leg. You can leave it at your desk or behind the front desk, and you do not need to bring that in or anything else along those lines as described here. Keep that in mind. If you see them with something, just ask them, could you please take that back to your office? I'm not comfortable with you having it in there after what I'm hearing in the news happening to children in doctors' offices or dental offices. Say it clear as a bell. It shouldn't offend anybody. You're just doing the right thing by your child. This is a big one for me. Trust your instincts and validate your child. Do we not have that gut instinct when something's wrong? I think we all sense that. Deep down, you know good from bad. Everybody does, whether you want to realize it or not. So, if your child expresses fear, reluctance, or discomfort about returning to a specific provider or reports a strange interaction, take it extremely seriously. Never brush off a child's sudden behavioral shift or anxiety regarding a medical professional. You have to take it seriously every time. Like I said earlier, as long as you keep the lines of communications open between you and your child should be able to tell you anything and everything, and you can decide if it's an issue or if it's misinterpreted or what the child felt could be just anxiety because of a previous experience, which is totally normal, right? Tooth pulling, that kind of thing, right? It's not fun. So use your best judgment, follow your instincts, and validate your child's concerns. Make sure to keep those lines of communications open. Tell them you love them every minute of every chance you get. Know that they know that they're safe with you. And they better be safe with you, from my perspective. Report and document immediately. Need we say more, Dr. Villanueva? If anything inappropriate or suspicious occurs, do not rely solely on internal office management. Report the incident directly to local law enforcement immediately. I gave you numbers that you can call. Local 911, local law enforcement police department, right? Even go further. And the exploited children can reach out and support you in this, as well as others, especially in your area locally. But if you don't see resolution or activity going on, bring it to a higher level of law enforcement. What you should do is document dates, times, names of staff members involved, and specific details of what your child reported. Real easy. From a parent to a child that you're taking care of, record it on your phone. And then take that verbiage and document it. Or sit down and write it down with your child, capturing everything they described and said. Okay? Use these tools to your advantage, not your disadvantage. It's okay to do a recording of your child speaking their mind about what they felt or what they thought occurred. It's not going to hurt anything. It just keeps the details clear and concise, as well as assists you in documenting date, time, staff members. You should know all the staff members from your doctor's office. They should actually be available at the front desk. If you were to ask, I wonder if they'd give that to you. Just wondering. I don't run a medical office. I don't run a dental office. But with the concerns these days around children, I think that's a fair ask. Could be reasons why not. I don't know, but it's worth asking. Finally, research practices and backgrounds. Now, this you can do well in advance of selecting a medical professional. Before choosing a pediatric dental or medical office, check online, state licensing boards, review consumer complaints, and look into whether the practice has rigorous multi-person supervision protocols and comprehensive background checking standards for all staff. I don't think, again, that you're asking too much to ask what is their process. I've been through this in the past. It's horrible to find out what we find out, right? Especially if you go to court, there's a deposition, and you find out what you are shocked about the staff members. It's not something that's acceptable. It drives you crazy to think that that's okay from a practice perspective to hire somebody with a background, with this information that they find during the checking. I think that everybody should be background checked, not just a quick glance, a full background check. And here in Arizona, I know that happens a lot. As a caregiver that I was for my mom, I was background checked several times, fingerprinted, the whole 9 yards. It all makes sense. Hold me accountable. It's okay. I know I didn't do anything wrong, and I never will. So those are some protect your children. I put 10 ways. There are a plethora of more, I'm sure. I want you all to be able to reach out, understand, search the internet, use it to your advantage. But these 10 ways to protect your children, I'll put in the description of my stream so you can grab them there if you want. But I do want you to know it's well worth your time and effort to look out for your children, because sometimes they can't look out for themselves. And there are plenty of practices out there, medical and dental. You don't have to feel like you're stuck with just one. I recently changed cardiologists because I didn't feel comfortable with the first one. So I continued searching, found another one, and now I'm much happier. My instinct kicked in. I'm not knocking them. My instinct said, I'm not comfortable here. So I switched. And I do feel I'm better off for it because I made the decision based on my instinct for myself. And when you're dealing with major issues like children and medical and dental, this is not something you want to play around with, obviously. So I want to make sure that everybody's fully aware of what they can do and what's under their realm of responsibility. And there's many more things you can do. So with that, if you have any comments, concerns, please post them on my stream once it's done. I will follow up as soon as I can, get what information I can. I do want to thank you all for joining me. I appreciate the views. Also, your comments that will be forthcoming, and any conversations you'd like to have, let's do that, okay? I have several other lanes that I can follow, and we can talk about things there, because I'm looking for interaction, if at all possible, as we have in the past. And remember, one share could bring someone home, but it also could save years of trauma for a child. So it still applies. Keep that in mind, okay? And if you don't mind, please subscribe to my channel. It's free and it helps me grow. I'll stop saying that. I'll just leave it on the screen, but I just want you to know how passionate I am about protecting children. It's important for all of us to take ownership. And I want you all to feel that way because it is our responsibility. Children are not ready yet to take it upon themselves, okay? In a lot of cases, they're just not there yet. So, with that said, I want to thank you again for joining. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I will see you on the next stream. Take care now. Again, please leave me comments. I'd appreciate it.